Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Faustine Chan. I'm the Business Innovation Manager for BBB serving Pacific Southwest. Just to let everybody know, we are doing webinars daily from Mondays through Fridays. We have different themes, so please join us. All of them can be viewed on events.bbbcommunity.org. And if you want to review this webinar today, the recording will be available for you tomorrow or the following day as well on that same website. I do have to let everybody know that I did log into Zoom today, and they said that they are experiencing a high volume of people logging in today, probably because a lot of people are working remotely. So if any time we do get disconnected, just relog back in and everybody, I'll relog back in, everybody should be able to pick up where we left off. So today is Tuesday Turnaround, so we're going to learn how to use texting to connect with our audiences during this time, COVID-19. We have two great speakers from BrightGuest today. We have Quinn, who's the founder and CEO of BrightGuest, which is a tech startup based in Gilbert, Arizona. His background is building products, business intelligence, and analytics. He's very involved in the startup community in Phoenix and also ran the mentoring program in Phoenix Startup from 2017 to 2019. We also have Alex Quinn, who heads up the customer service success department at BrightGuest. She's passionate about helping nonprofits thrive in digital marketing and enjoys living with her family in Gilbert. So I'll go ahead and hand it to both of you guys.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I want to first thank you for taking the time to join us today, and thank you to BBB for having us. We're all navigating uncharted territories right now. So today we're going to be here to support you in any way that we can when it comes to your digital communications, marketing during this time. We'll open it up to Q&A at the end, so please feel free to type your questions into the chat box at any time. We want to make sure that we're as helpful as we can be today for you. So if a question does come up, make sure to type it in and we'll answer it at the end. We're going to start with about 35 minutes of knowledge and then kick off into Q&A. So if you don't already know us, I'm going to give you some quick background. I'm Quinn, founder and CEO of BrightGuest, which is a software platform. We're based here in Gilbert, Arizona. We help organizations stay connected with their people in real time and at scale with text messaging and personalized digital experiences. My background, building products, business intelligence, analytics, lots of great data stuff. I'm very involved in the local startup community here in Phoenix. As mentioned, I helped organize mentoring at the Phoenix Startup Week for 2017, 18, and 19 years. And I'm also passionate about giving back to my community and love living with my family in Gilbert. Also joining us today is Alex.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. Like Faustine said, I head up customer success at BrightGuest, and my background is in digital marketing, which I love. I'm also really passionate about helping nonprofits thrive. I was previously on the board of Girls in Tech Phoenix, and I'm a big lover of cats and ranch dressing.
Excellent. Great. Thanks, Alex. So just to kick it off, we're all bombarded right now with an influx of emails over the last couple of weeks, some important and some from brands that we don't particularly need to hear from right now. And cutting through all that noise to connect with your audience online and in real time is more important than ever. And text messaging can be your real-time connector. It can help bridge that gap during the transition from in-person to virtual. Texting's the most widely used communication channel. It doesn't discriminate against age. We all use it. It's protected. So organizations can only send text messages to the people that opt in to receive them, which is why the text open rates are typically well over 90% compared to 20% or so that you see with email. And our customers see text click-through rates well above 30%. Our customers average about 1,000% increase in engagement with text versus email. So you can kind of imagine what that can do for your calls to action as they increase. And smartphone usage is only increasing during this time. So connecting with your audience over text and mobile, it's becoming more and more important. Today, we're going to be talking about how to craft your messaging during this time, why text messaging works for businesses, how your business can get started with texting, and how your business can use texting during this time, and also how to grow your text message audience online. So now I'm going to pass it off to Alex.
Okay, so I wanted to start today off with some things to think about when crafting messaging during this time. I recently watched a webinar hosted by another great organization, Local First AZ, and Ty Largo. He's the owner of PR agency Odd Collective, based in Tempe. He was the host of it, and he gave a lot of helpful ideas on how to focus your messaging during this time. So some of these ideas are from him. We're getting a ton of communications from businesses about the coronavirus, and many of your businesses, I'm sure, have already sent out emails. It's a sensitive subject to navigate with so much unknown and fast-moving changes. And what you're doing now can affect how people view your business as we come out of this. So when you're working on your external and internal communications, here are some things to keep in mind. Don't feel pressured to do what everyone else is doing. Where a certain type of message may make sense from another business, it may not work for your business. 2, don't add to the noise without saying something. Where it may make sense for one business to send daily updates to their audience, it may not be necessary for your business to send updates at that frequency. Think first if you have something to say or content to provide before pushing out a message. 3, keep it short and sweet. You don't need to share all the details. It makes sense for a restaurant offering takeout to send a message about the health and safety precautions they're taking at this time, but does your business need to provide all those details and measures you're taking? And do you need to send it out to your entire audience? Maybe there's a segment that needs to know about that particular information, but not everyone. 4, be personal. So connection is more important than ever right now as we're all social distancing. We can't connect in person, and there's only so much you can get across with email. Video can be so powerful at a time like this to deliver your messages. If it makes sense to pick up the phone and call, do that as well. Kindness and authenticity come through in voice and video, so email alone is not enough at this time. 5, don't overly use coronavirus or COVID-19. It can come across as scary, and you don't want to associate your brand with something scary. And you definitely don't want to come across as disingenuous. 6, focus on relationship building. So you may see a dip in revenue and sales during this time, and maybe previous messaging focused on conversions is no longer working. So now's the time to shift your messaging and adapt. Shift your content and messaging and focus on how you can best serve and help your audience at this time. It's the time to keep the conversations going, generate awareness, and show your goodwill. And 7, most importantly, be human. Keep your messaging conversational. You're a human talking to another human. Don't be robotic. Write how you speak. It's easier for people to relate to you when you come across human and more authentic. So now that we've set the tone for crafting messaging, let's dive into the meat of the webinar. Ryan's going to start talking about why text messaging works for businesses.
So businesses sending text messages, it's definitely becoming more of a thing. How many of you receive text messages from businesses? If you want, you can go and give a virtual hand raise. You can go for it by clicking on the participants button and literally clicking raise your hand next to your name. I know I get text messages from businesses, and I really do enjoy it. You think texting and you're thinking about the messages you receive from friends, family. Will my customers want to even receive texts from me? Twilio did a recent survey, and 9 out of 10 people said that they wanted to talk to brands through text. So why is that? Enabling technologies that compete for our attention have shifted the paradigm. We went from the launch of the smartphone to the rise of social media, access to on-demand everything, and the expectation of curated, personalized experiences. What I like finds me. Everyone is short on time with their phone glued to their hand, multitasking in front of more than one screen, and with so many channels, there's more opportunities for distraction. And the amount of available content actually makes us more selective. On the low end, we see 4,000 messages per day, and we respond to effectively 0% of them. People are over in personal marketing messages, and as a business, this is challenging, especially right now with social distancing. It takes multiple touch points across all channels and devices to compel action. In fact, many studies show it takes at least 7 touches with a person to drive one call to action. So as a consumer, if I really want to hear from a business, a text from them won't get lost in the flood of emails that are in my inbox or the volume of content on social media. Those channels are important to use, but it can't be all that you do as a business. You need to meet your audience where they are. As a business, texting can be your real-time connector during this time because it is effective. So let's look at why it's so effective. First, it's immediate and it works for real-time communications. Over 90% of people read those text messages in under 3 minutes. It's also personal. Your business text message shows up next to messages from friends and family. 3, it's protected, meaning it's opt-in only. You can only text people that have opted in to your messages, the messages from your business. So these people want to hear from you. They're craving your content. Most importantly, it's the main channel that we all use for communication, whether it's customers, employees, volunteers, donors, stakeholders. Cutting through the noise to reach your audience is more important than ever. And you're communicating with a validated audience in a more personalized way. So it makes sense that you're going to see bigger results. So now I'm going to pass it off to Alex to talk about how to get started with text messaging.
Okay, so saying all this is one thing, but it's another to actually do it. So how can you get started with text messaging and creating personalized digital experiences without a big budget? So here are some steps, not all of them, but some steps in that process. You need to find a text messaging software provider that enables you to send messages from their software platform directly to a mobile user. So a software provider gives your business the ability to send messages to a large group of people at once. This is referred to as A2P texting, application to person. So unlike P2P texting, which is person to person, like what we do when we're texting our mom, for example, with A2P texting, you can send a much higher volume of text messages, which is why businesses use it, and you don't have to use your personal phone number. So it's better for privacy. A2P texting can either be one way, where your business is doing most of the texting, meaning people can text you to sign up for your text messages, they can send a text to opt out, but your business is sending majority of the text to your audience. But you can also do two-way texting with A2P if the software provider offers it. So this is where you have the ability to engage in one-on-one conversations over text with your customers. With A2P texting, you can either use a short code, so that's a shortened 5 to 6 digit number, approved for high volumes of messages by the carriers. You can send more than 100 messages per second over a short code. However, short codes are expensive. They start at $1,000 per month. A lot of software providers have a short code all of their customers can use. For example, ours is 27,000. This is called a shared short code because it's shared between many businesses. The carriers are moving away from shared short codes to reduce the spam. And while they haven't currently terminated shared short code usage altogether, they aren't provisioning any new shared short codes. You can also use a 10-digit long code. So a dedicated, long code for your business. So you can use this for A2P texting. So this is just like any normal 10-digit number that we all have. Long codes don't currently send at the volume that a shared short code does. You can send right now 1 message per second. However, that may change in the future as the shared short codes go away. But if you have a lot of people opted into your text messages, you could use several 10-digit long codes concurrently to increase your throughput if you're not on a short code. The plus side of long codes, it's more personal. It's, in my opinion, less associated with marketing messages. You can get a number with the local area code of your business, so it's great for brand recognition. And it's easier for global text messaging, whereas short codes are provisioned for usage within a specific country. So if you have a US short code, you can only send and receive messages from US mobile numbers, where that isn't the case with long codes. And finally, long codes are much more affordable than dedicated short codes. 2, so you need to understand the compliance around A2P texting. While text message software providers handle a lot of the compliance for you, meaning if someone responds to your number, response stop, they're opted out automatically. You have to give people a way to opt out of automated text messages. It's required by law, by the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. However, even though your software provider will handle a lot of the compliance automatically, you still need to understand who you can and can't text. So as a business, you can't buy a list of mobile numbers and start texting those people. So unlike email, where you aren't supposed to do that, organizations still will purchase lists of email, and that's why email is saturated with spam. It isn't as regulated. If your business is sending informational text messages, so not promotional, like an appointment reminder is an example of an informational or transactional text message. You still have to get that person's consent to send text messages, but you can get it over text, a website, written or verbally. However, if your business is sending promotional text messages that are selling a product or service, you have to get their express written consent. So that is typically done when a person texts into your number to opt in or fills out a web form explicitly consenting to text messages from your business. There are use cases where regulations are looser. For example, with nonprofits, if you've given your number to a nonprofit, they can start texting you. You don't have to initiate signing up for their text messages if they're using texting to drive donations and awareness of their cause. However, you can always opt out, period. 3, then you need to create your messaging and content strategy. What kind of content are you going to be sending to your customers, employees, supporters over text? You want to give them a reason to sign up for your text messages. So whether it's coupons, appointment reminders, helpful tips, educational content, feedback from customers, you're not going to send a one and done text. You want to use texting to build a relationship like you would with email. You can start with an initial use case or a campaign within a segment of your audience and then expand from there. For example, a restaurant can send monthly text promotions and coupons to their customers, or a mortgage lender can text real estate agents informational content about the mortgage industry. That's a great way to build relationships and stay top of mind. And 4, you need to grow your text message list. It's not, and if you build it, they will come situation. If people don't know about it, they won't sign up for your text messages. So you have to continually promote your text sign up like you do in getting people to sign up for your emails. And we'll go over a bunch of those ideas down the road in a few minutes here. And with that said, Ryan is going to talk about how you can use text messaging during this time.
Okay, so now how can your business use text messaging right now during this time? We have some ideas and examples of effective ways that your business can use texting. So real-time communications, texting is one of the most responsive and real-time forms of communication. Like I said earlier, 90% of people read those text messages in less than 3 minutes. So you know they're going to get seen. And when your business sends a text, your texts are showing up next to friends and family members, and they're most likely to be read for that reason. So you have real-time information that needs to go out to your audience, send a text, such as an event or appointment cancellations or transitioning to virtual events or transitioning to work remotely. Did you send an important email or a piece of direct mail? Follow up with that with a text message alerting those people to check their inbox or their mailbox. So you can use texting to amplify and increase the effectiveness of your other channels. Do you need to reduce the number of missed appointments? Start sending appointment reminders by text message. There was a recent survey done and patients reported text messaging being the #1 way they wanted to receive appointment reminders, even more than phone calls and emails. Does a client have a renewal coming up? Start sending renewal or service reminders through text. Lead generation. So right now it's a challenging time for many businesses to generate leads and new business, especially if you used a lot of face-to-face interaction and event marketing strategies. But you can still generate leads during this time online through inbound marketing. Inbound marketing allows you to attract your best prospects, people online looking for your solution, rather than sending out a general message to a potentially uninterested audience group. So you can send text messages as one of your lead gen tactics. Why not tap into one of the most widely used forms of communication to generate leads and drive sales? And another successful example of integrating texting into lead gen, one of our customers, they used Facebook targeted ads and text messaging to generate leads. The call to action on the ads were to text in to book a tour. 50% of the leads that texted in went on to book a tour. So that's a huge conversion rate for a qualified call to action, which is booking a tour. So not only did this produce a successful conversion rate, but it doesn't stop there. Now the organization has permission to send text messages to these leads to continue that process of conversion, to build and nurture the relationship and increase the likelihood that those leads would actually turn into clients. So right now, the call to action obviously won't be booking an in-person tour, but maybe it's taking a virtual tour. Maybe it's offering a piece of digital content, like an online case study, or giving access to an online ROI calculator. Why should people give you their mobile number? Entice them with a relevant value offer. And pro tip, for example, with our tool, you can set up your lead gen texting campaign to require people to text in and fill out a quick form to give more to give more contact info before they can access the particular offer. And keep the form short to increase the likelihood that people fill it out, because it is on mobile. So virtual support of your customers, another big one. Texting, because it's so personal, it's a powerful way to support your customers, because there's so many resources and information out there with what's going on right now. You can ensure the right info gets to the right person by pointing people to your digital resources by sending a text with a link. You can use texting to deploy surveys to find out how your audience is being affected by what's going on right now. Another one of our customers had to close their offices, but still needed to provide immediate resources to their clients. So they're giving their customers the option to text any question to their phone number, which will trigger an automatic immediate text back with a link to fill out a quick online form to submit their contact info and any questions they have at the time. So texting is more instant and personal than email or web chat. It can be used for customer success, deploying a survey over text to get real-time feedback. Ask how your customers are doing. Ask how you can help them during this time. Tell your customers how they can help you as well, because it does work both ways. Send a text to encourage online customer reviews, or ask them to engage on your social media channels. Like we talked about earlier, how can you best help your audience right now? Use texting to be that connector. Another important one is loyalty marketing. I'm sure many of you have seen text campaigns that distribute offers or coupons. Loyalty marketing is powerful, and incorporating texting can amplify your results. COVID-19 is affecting everyone right now, and people are looking for deals and offers. They need them. What can you offer your customers or prospective customers during this time? One of our fast casual restaurant customers uses our tool to send updates and offers to their customers. They send offers via text and have seen as high as a 72% redemption rate of those offers. So redemption rates through email are typically around 3% as a point of comparison. So that's a significant increase. And not only should you encourage people to initially sign up for your text by offering something that they can only access through your text messages, but once they sign up, keep the offers coming. Are you offering free delivery right now? Let your people know through text. Do you have any discounts, freebies? Communicate that through text. These kinds of offers can drive revenue during this time, and you don't want those offers to get lost, right, in the noisy world of email and social media. You have to use all of your digital channels to cut through the noise. I have kids in school. I've seen this a lot lately. We've talked about how real-time texting, how real-time it is, which is why many emergency management and public health organizations are launching text alert campaigns to keep the public informed as what's going on in their city, at their schools. Another use case, virtual events. So many organizations are having to transition their upcoming events from in-person to virtual. Texting, very effective at in-person events because it's more real-time than email, and not every event needs an app, but it can also be used in the exact same way for virtual events. Leading up to your virtual event, you can use texting to communicate those last-minute changes on how people can participate in your event virtually. Not everyone is going to read your emails or see your social posts about these last-minute changes, so texting can ensure your attendees get that information in a timely manner. For example, one of our nonprofit customers switched their family walk from in-person to virtual, and they're encouraging everyone to walk in their neighborhoods and use their hashtag and post their pics on social media. They're using texting to communicate all of this to encourage people to continue fundraising. They even started a Facebook fundraiser, and they're doing a giveaway for people who have the most donors and raise the most through Facebook fundraising. So they sent out a text the day of the fundraiser that had started. Hey, our event goes virtual. Kids with disabilities still need our help. Start a Facebook fundraiser in less than a minute. And then they included the direct link to their Facebook fundraiser in the text message. Another one of our customers uses our tool to let attendees know their event switched from in-person to virtual at the last minute. And they saw a 34% click-through rate on the link in that text message. And you can compare that to the average click-through rate that you get with email, which is around 2%. And they got over 9 hours of engagement time on the mobile page that the text message linked to. After the event, keep the conversation going. Use text to, most importantly, thank your virtual attendees. Send a survey to get real-time feedback, share speaker presentations, or the best photos from social media. You get the idea. The main thing here is to not go dark. Your people signed up for those messages. They want to hear from you. And you most likely won't be sending the volume of messages you sent during the event, but you can easily segue that into at least a monthly text message cadence. Sponsors. Many businesses have sponsors that we're expecting to get exposure during the in-person events. You can give them one of the most effective forms of exposure through your text message campaigns. This is one-on-one time with a highly validated, engaged audience on the most, most of the device most of our attention goes to, right? Our phones. Whether it's a dedicated text recognizing sponsors or including their content in a mobile page that you link to in the text message, either way, it can be way more effective than including a sponsor logo and a printed agenda, with a lot richer analytics to show what that kind of traffic and visibility looked like. Our customers use our texting and mobile pages to give their sponsors increased visibility all the time. And with our tool, you see all sorts of important metrics that report back to your sponsors, such as how long people interacted with the sponsored content, total impressions, click-through rates on the text message. This is actionable data that you can share with your sponsors to show the value of their exposure. Finally, staying connected. You can use texting to fill in the gaps outside of the streaming services like video conferencing software and all the tools, digital tools that we're currently using, like what we're using right now. Using texting and mobile pages to keep the conversation going, share your content, keep awareness going, and use this time to build those crucial relationships. Send positive reminders and simple check-ins to your audience. Send a text message with a video message letting your audience know you're thinking of them. Send a text when it's a client or employee's birthday. One of our customers uses our tool for employee communications and engagement, and they have an automated text that goes out on an employee's birthday with a video message from their executive team. So simple, but it can really help and mean a lot to individuals, especially during a time like this. The messages don't always have to be a call to action either. People are having to isolate, so it's more important than ever to stay connected online. So these have been a lot of ideas, and of course there's a lot more, but this is how we're seeing many of our customers use our tool during this time. And so now I want to pass it off to Alex to talk about how to grow your text messaging audience online.
Okay, so we have all these ideas on how you can use texting during this time. And the big question now is, how do you get your people to sign up for your text messages? Like I mentioned earlier, if people don't know about it, they're not going to sign up for your text messages. And you will have a lower volume of people opted into your text messages than you do with your email list, but it's much higher quality. Think about it. We typically only have one mobile number, but we may have 5 different emails, and 2 of those emails are probably completely abandoned because we get so many spam messages to that account. So with our tool, you can use keywords and connect those keywords to different text campaigns. Keyword is a word or a phrase someone can text to your number to opt into your text messages, and it will trigger an immediate text back from your business. We also have sign-up forms that you can add to your website to enable people that visit your website or landing page to fill it out and sign up for your text messages, similar to how they would sign up for your emails from your website. So you can promote the text to join or web sign up various ways online to grow your text audience. 1, set up automated responses in your chat bots like Facebook Messenger or in your website chat box. On your business Facebook page, for example, you can update the automated responses in your Facebook Messenger. So if someone messages you on Facebook, it shoots back a message, hey, someone from our team will get back to you shortly. In the meantime, you can text real estate to 480-555 to get our text updates and stay connected with us. 2, you can add the text to join info to your organization's LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram bios. It's super simple, but why not? People are always going to your social media pages, so have the text to join info there front and center. 3, announce your text to join info during live streaming, webinars, podcasts. If you're doing any Instagram or Facebook lives during this time, Instagram stories, webinars, make an announcement and include a graphic with the text to join info during the video. And a pro tip is you want to include that text to join info at the beginning and the end of the live stream, so you capture people that tune in and out throughout. 4, social media posts or social media ads. You want to continually post your text to join or web sign up info on social media. You can try scheduling at least one post per week to increase the chances people see it. A one-time only post with your text to join info, it's not going to be enough considering all of the noise on social media. 5, web forms. So like I mentioned earlier, people can opt in by texting in or signing up through a web form. So we always recommend using both options. You'll have people that prefer one over the other. You use the web form just like you have an email sign up form on your website. It's easy and effective, and it allows you to convert your website traffic into your text campaigns. 6, add the text to join info to your email signature. This is another super simple, but why not tactic. You send emails all day, every day, so including the text to join info in your email signature can be really effective. So for example, need tips and resources on how to succeed in today's market? Text, this keyword to this phone number. 7, convert your email subscribers. So include the text to join our web sign up info in communications you send out to your email list. They're already opted into your communications, so it only makes sense to try to convert those people from email to text. You'll want to send out a dedicated email letting your audience know that your business is now sending text messages. It's easy to sign up. Text this keyword to our number or sign up online here. Some of our customers even include the text sign up in all of their emails near the footer. If people don't know it's something they can sign up for, they won't do it. So you need to continually promote your text campaigns across all your channels. 8, add the text to join info to your voicemail. It's similar to adding it to your email signature. You're letting people know it's another way to stay connected. 9, ask over the phone. So if you're making phone calls, for example, when scheduling an appointment with a client or customer, let people know they can sign up for your text messages. Tell them it's one of the easiest ways to stay connected, especially with all the emails going out these days. Announcing the text to join call to action during events has always been very effective for our customers. It's one of the easiest way to get people to sign up for text messages during your events. So it can work the same way if you're on the phone with someone. Simply tell them, hey, if you haven't signed up for our text messages, you can do it right now. Just text nonprofit to 27,000 and you're good to go. 10, add your text sign up to printed marketing materials. This isn't an online tactic, but I wanted to throw it out there. You can add your text to join or web sign up info to your business cards, direct mail, billboards, flyers, etc. And finally, you have all of these ways of growing your text audience, but do you want to take it to the next level? Giving your audience an enticing opt-in incentive is incredibly important. Studies have shown that giving your audience an incentive in return for their mobile number can increase your list growth by over 500%. So you could do a coupon or discount incentive. A lot of our customers will use a discount incentive that's only available through their text message campaigns because it makes it more exclusive. For example, text in to get $5 off your purchase. With our tool, you can set it up to require people to text in and fill out a quick form, so they have to give more contact info before they can access the offer. It increases the quality of those leads. Contest incentives are also very effective and fun. So you could run a giveaway for your text campaigns. This can be a great way to launch and jumpstart your text campaign. For example, text in for a chance to win a gift card and some swag. So you always want to add a deadline to enter the giveaway to create urgency. And you can even partner with local businesses for, gift card giveaways or coupons at this time. It's a great way to also support, the local businesses when they need us most. And just like with the discount incentive, you can set it up to require people to text in and fill out a quick form to give up contact info in order to enter the giveaway. Okay, so a lot of ideas here. It's definitely not all the ways to grow your list, but hopefully it gets your wheels turning. And now I'm going to send it to Ryan to wrap it up.
Okay, so let's recap the most important takeaways from today. You have to be mindful of your messages during this time. Don't feel pressured to match what others are doing, right? Do what's right for your business. Email isn't enough. Connect over video, phone calls, text messaging, social media, and be personal and be human. Texting is one of the most immediate forms of communication. You're sending your messages to a validated audience in a more personalized way, so you're going to see bigger results. And it can be your real-time connector. So use it to reach your audience groups and reach them and reach your different audience groups that way. And you can use all of your digital channels to promote your text signup and continually grow your audience. Cutting through the noise has never been more important than right now. Creating digital experiences that connect your audience to your business in an authentic way is critical. So now before we go into Q&A, some final items. If you want access to these slides, you can text us right now to get them. You just text the word deck to 480-210-7540. And that will kick back a link to view it. You'll get a link to fill out a form, give us some feedback from today, and you'll get access to all the slides. Or you can email me, email us once at one of our emails listed on this slide here. We're always open to chat. And finally, I want to leave you with a simple reminder that we find helpful during this time. So you don't control what happens, you control how you respond. It's from the Daily Stoic. It's not easy to maintain a calm in the face of chaos, but our reactions are exactly what we have control over during this time. We're all in this together, and focusing our energy as best as we can on the positive, we can all grow and learn from this. And with that, we're now going to switch it over to Q&A. So if you have a question, drop them in the chat box and we'll go through them.
Yes, so our first question comes from Larry. He asked, what platform do you recommend for video?
For video? So, when it comes to video, these days, the most effective videos are just the ones that, we record on our phones. You don't have to have an elaborate, professionally produced video recorded on your phone, and you can simply upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, your Instagram stories. As far as editing software, Ryan, do you have any video editing software favorites?
Sure. I mean, the ones that come stock, like iMovie, are super easy to use. My personal preference is Adobe Premiere. There's some other platforms out there that kind of make it easy as an all-in-one solution to record videos, edit the bookends of them, so personalizing the intros and outros, and then pushing that out through email. One of those platforms is called BombBomb. So these are just a few different examples.
Yeah, authenticity is so important right now. So just getting started with video and, not being a perfectionist recording on your phone, people are going to relate to those videos the most. And that's really why Instagram stories are so popular. You notice all the influencers, they're just, recording on their phone and posting to their hundreds of thousands of followers, and they get such high engagement.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a polished Hollywood masterpiece. People want authenticity. They want to feel that connection.
Great, thank you. So our next question comes from Rachel. Clients are hesitant to provide their phone number versus their email so I can communicate with them. Are there general text messaging disclosures that I can use to provide them?
Yeah, so when it comes to disclosures, there's definitely language that is required from the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and from CTIA. That's kind of an organization of all the carriers and the stakeholders. They set best practices. So you want to let them know that by texting in or filling out this form, they're signing up for your messages from your organization, that they're signing up for automated text messages. And so they're not thinking that they're just texting a person, it's automated. You can do, one-on-one conversations as a business, but it's still being sent through an automated situation with a software provider. You also need to let them know that consent isn't required for purchase or for service. So you can't require people to sign up for your text messages if to purchase something or to get access to your service. It's optional, and that's a necessary disclosure for the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. And this is something that a lot of our customers, we walk them through this when they're onboarding. When they're using our web form, this disclaimer is built into the web form. So a lot of that stuff they don't have to worry about.
Yeah, don't let the complexity dissuade you. The software tools that you use should be designed to keep you in compliance. But it's important for us to bring that up on today's webinar because it's always best to be informed.
So we have a couple people that have raised their hand and who would like to talk. So if you can make sure that your microphones are ready, we can go ahead and let you talk. So we're going to go ahead and let Luke talk. So go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me? I was very curious about push notifications versus text messaging. When I used to have my startup, we used a lot of push notifications, but we thought text was better. Have you known any big differences between push notifications via an app or compared to text messaging?
Yeah, so does your business even need an app? So not everyone in every situation, every business needs an app. Several years back, everyone was making an app for everything, and there's stats out there. People download 0 new apps per month. We have our apps that we really use, certain shopping apps, certain weather apps, but chances are like your business probably doesn't need an app. It can be, on the expensive side to produce and implement and maintain. If you do have an app and it gets a lot of engagement, yes, always recommend push notifications. But a lot of the big like retailers and fast food restaurants like Subway, for example, they have an app. And the primary reason that they have an app is if they've downloaded the app and they're also opted into their text messages, they use the app to get location to understand where their customers are so that they can send relevant text messages based on their location, because you really can't access location through text. You would use the app to do that.
Yeah, Luke, I would echo that. I would say the main advantage of having the app is obviously for location services, and it is too expensive from an ROI standpoint to continuously pull the carrier data for which phone numbers are in a specific area, right? Because each one of those requests costs money. And you're just basically waiting and polling until somebody comes in that area to send that text message. So with text messages, it doesn't tend to be as dependent on location. It's more on the context of that engagement.
But yeah, if you have an app, definitely send push notifications, but I would do text as well.
So we'll give it another minute. If anyone else has any questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat option or the Q&A. I know we have a couple of people that just called in, meaning you use your telephone to call in. So if you want to view this webinar, it's being recorded. So just visit events.bbcommunity.org in a day or two, and it can be viewed on that page there. So. Looks like someone has a question. Do you recommend any short URL makers, such as Bitly?
Yeah, so when it comes to link shorteners, if you're sending an SMS, for example, there's a character limits on that. It's 160 characters. MMS, that's where you can like text photos and videos and you have a larger character count. That's something that we're going to be rolling out in the next couple months, so our customers can send longer text messages. However, if your software provider doesn't offer that and you have a long URL, you don't want to take up all your characters. So our platform, the links it sends out, it already has a automatic shortener. If your platform doesn't have that, you can use Bitly. if you're using a long code though to send text messages and you're using Bitly, the carriers will flag those messages and they might not get delivered. On short code, you're good. If you're using Bitly, the messages are most likely going to get through. So I would really look to see if your software provider has a built-in link shortener within their dashboard.
Okay, so it looks like we don't have any other questions. Thank you so much, Ryan and Alex, for taking time out of your busy day to educate us today on this topic. It's really beneficial for all of our businesses out there. Remember, if you do need a copy of the presentation, you can text them or you can view it online. It will be posted on events.bbcommunity.org. Let's see, I'm just making sure there's no more other questions last minute. But thank you again, and I hope you join us for tomorrow's webinar. You can sign up for it on our URL, events.bbcommunity.org. Thank you everyone for attending, and please stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone.